Freddie Kraft just called out Kevin Harvick, and it spotlights a bigger problem that NASCAR is dealing with. It came on Kevin Harvick's podcast, and Freddie Kraft absolutely owned him in a post on X. That is what we were going to be talking about because it gives so much of a modern NASCAR problem that is simply fixable as long as NASCAR is willing to go out there and execute. So let's lay out what exactly happened. Now, Kevin Harvick, who is an analyst for Fox Sports, he was on his podcast talking about how NASCAR is dragging out caution periods, okay? Now, Freddie Kraft, who is Bubba Wallace's spotter and a Door Bumper Clear co-host, fired back on X, and it was pointed, okay? Now, keep in mind that Kevin Harvick is someone that carries a lot of weight in this sport, obviously due to his past accomplishments. He's one of the best drivers ever in the sport, and he's a really, really good commentator and analyst, and his podcast is actually pretty good. And so he was talking about how at this past Sunday's Brickyard 400, there was a situation where you would have either stage breaks or just cautions or a debris caution taking 12 minutes to just clean up a little debris situation. This is not a red flag situation. This is not a multi-car crash situation. It's just simply a stage ends or there's a debris caution and it takes forever. And so at a time in which all these people are losing their minds on social media talking about how NASCAR needs to shorten their races, it's not even just the race lengths, it's what do you do in between? Because if you can shave, and his point was 30 to 45 minutes off of these broadcasts by simply just being more efficient with how you conduct stages and cautions, and they kind of bleed in together, then you are doing what you need to do, and it actually solves the problem. And that is a NASCAR problem because these races go 3.5 hours. I personally love college football, but I hate the fact that you have to invest 4 hours of your time to watch a full game. I think that's ridiculous. 3 hours is good enough. Now, Freddie went to X and he said, just decided to have 10 lap cautions. That was his shot to Kevin Harvick. Now step back for a minute and look at the argument of who's to blame is a distraction from the actual issue, which is how much of a race now consumed is by cautions and stage breaks. Think about that. Let's put a number on it. The Brickyard 400, 5 cautions, 27 of the race's 160 laps. That's roughly 17% of the entire event run under yellow. Keep in mind that the Indianapolis Speedway, an abomination of a racetrack for the NASCAR Cup Series and O'Reilly Series, is a 2.5 mile track. Translate laps into the fan experience in real time because a real caution can drag out for 12, 20, even 30 minutes once you add the cleanup, the pit stops, the chews, the double file restarts, and the commercial breaks stacked on top of that. Multiply that across a race and you get these long stretches where fans are either sitting at home, they're going to check Twitter, they're going to flip over to something else, but also think about the fan experience. These people are out there in the freaking grandstands melting to death because it's 110 degrees outside and NASCAR decides we're going to hold a race at noon. That's a problem. And it's something that NASCAR can actually fix. Now, why does this happen? The math and the manufactured yellows. Okay. Now, Mike Forde said on the Holler Talk that at a 2.5 mile track, a caution eats a minimum of about 4 laps just to open pit road, set the restart order. That's all before anything goes wrong. Then add the part where fans feel but rarely name stage breaks. NASCAR built scheduled caution periods into the middle of each race. Those are, by design, planned interruptions to green flag racing, because I don't know if you know this or not, but most of you do. When you go and you are going 160, 180 miles an hour under green flag racing, laps go by much quicker rather than whatever the caution speed is, 50, 70 miles an hour, whatever the case may be. You have to look at those situations. Because by taking out those stage breaks, I think you will cut down drastically on how long these damn races are. Now, here's the part that matters. NASCAR quietly admits it. NASCAR is not going to ignore this because on Holler Talk, Mike Forde said that officials started discussing tighter cautions during the Brickyard 400. When I was doing my research for this video, I wanted to make sure that I had both sides covered because I didn't want to do this as a bash of NASCAR. I love NASCAR. And so they are at least willing. Holler Talk is one of the best investments they've ever done where they give transparency. He said this: we want green flag racing and we wanted to get it as fast as possible. And then he added that if fans are frustrated by caution lengths, NASCAR feels the same frustration. So this is amazing, amazing news. Now, let's go and look at moving the choose line or the choose V. This all comes down to whether cars can pick a lane or go straight to the green, potentially saving a full lap of a caution. Forde said that it won't work at every track, but it's on the table. So what is he talking about? He's talking about the fact that they may get rid of the choose rule. I was appreciative of them doing this, but at the same time, if we can save a little bit of time, I don't think the choose rule is as big of a deal as some fans think it is. Because yes, if you are the front row, the first two cars, you pick, okay, do I want to start on the front row, but I'm on the outside, or I'm on the lower groove compared to the leader? Okay, that's an advantage for the leader to pick which is the better line. It's also a potential disadvantage for the second place driver, but for the most part, they always start on the front row. If it's, say, a lower groove racetrack and they want to be on the outside, whatever, they'll take their chances. But then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those cars and back, they ultimately just go with, okay, well, that car went low, so I'll go high, or that car went high and I'll go low. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So let's just move it along because there's another uninterrupted situation that you could have instead of an interruption type of situation. That is something that's on the table, and that's something that NASCAR should absolutely look at. Now, Forde said that NASCAR tracks the blocks of green, yellow, and red time religiously, and it's always trying to push the green number higher. And the key line on the deeper issue is his direct quote: stage breaks are a big topic of conversation. I think you are going to look at either this year, because NASCAR has been known to do this, or at least next year, incorporate something where we do not have the choose rule. I think that is the first to go, the most likely to go. And I also think that stage breaks, they may not get rid of them completely next year. They may keep them and then make a change to it. They may just take one stage break away. I've said this before. I don't think this is a situation where fans are like, oh my gosh, we must have stage breaks. I think at a time in which sometimes the old things are now new things, I think this is a case in point. I personally don't care about stage breaks. I cannot tell you who my favorite drivers got stage points, who won the stage, yada, 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 because at the end of the day, yes, it goes towards the chase, but half the damn field goes and qualifies for the chase practically, right? So I don't think it's as big of a situation as a lot of people think it is.